Hey everyone, it's Bobster1984 again, or Rob, whatever, or Bob. I'm just gonna do a little follow-up video based on what I did on Sunday. But before I jump into that, I just want to say thank you very much for all of the comments, all of the support that you've put on that last video. It means a lot. I didn't do the video with the thought in mind that I'd have so many people commenting. You know, being a fairly obscure small channel, as I said in the video, I primarily wanted to do it in the hope of helping people who wanted to make a decision about jumping onto Manjaro. Um, but primarily, I wanted to do it as like a log to look back on, for myself. But I'm absolutely blown away by the support and all of the comments and all of the tips that people have offered. You've opened my mind to things that I might have been doing wrong and what I can do in the future. So just thinking about the video that I did on Sunday, there was a few things that I've missed out. And I just wanted to give an update on that and obviously a little bit of an update on how this week's gone so far. Um, First of all, I should give a little bit more of a background. So obviously me and my partner both turned 40 in the space of 4 months. She's a little bit older than I am. So she went through all of the health check thing that I did. Obviously, as I mentioned in my last video, that you get when you turn 40. Now, she was first diagnosed with the diabetes before I was. So, getting on to the Mounjaro and where it started, she actually started in January. She, obviously done her research into it, and I was quite skeptical, I have to be honest. But then obviously the month that I seen her doing it, she lost quite a bit of weight and she was feeling really good. It took over in her words, it took away the food noise. So that's where I started. And to a bit more of a background, obviously I started in the February. But I didn't mention in the last video what dose I started on. Now I actually started on the two and a half, which was the minimum. Um, Obviously the recommendation. So what I did obviously with the two and a halves is I thought, right, we will see how we go on there. Now I think the first mistake I did is I stayed on two and a half for the second month, and I found that the second month I really no, I did. Sorry, tell a lie. Sorry, I went up to five after the month. Because I found that on two and a half, it wasn't making much of a difference. And I likened it to trying to tranquilize like a big animal. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm an animal, but I'm a big lad, obviously, as I've said. So two and a half just wasn't enough for me. I found that I was still hungry. I was still looking for snacks. I was like a bear looking in the cupboards, you know what I mean, for something else to eat. So I went up to five, obviously, in the March after the first month. I stayed on the fives for 2 months. Now, the fives were ideal for that first month. The second month, it was a bit of a struggle because obviously, again, the food noise came back. I wasn't overeating, but these things what have made me think about obviously where I might have gone wrong since Sunday and some of your comments. And I think that's because obviously I stayed on five for that extra month. Might have started over snacking. That might have slowed the weight progress, obviously. But as I said, I wasn't disappointed with how much I've lost. I just felt like I could have probably lost a little bit more. So then I moved up to the current month, and I'm now 1.7 and a half. And I take my dosage on a Saturday, um, so I get weighed purposely on a Friday. That's just the way I like to do it. I get weighed once a week. I always find it healthy to weigh myself just once a week. Um, I did get in the past, obviously, as I alluded in the last video, that I have been on a diet for practically all my adult life, and I've been there where I've been on the scales every single day, and it's just there's no difference, and I get really frustrated, and then I found that counterproductive. So I decided to do once a week, and I find it a lot better for my mental health and better for me. So I get weighed on a Friday, and then I take the next dose on a Saturday. So usually, me and my partner will find if we do fancy a bit of a treat, whatever we can eat, obviously, because you're still within the confines of what your stomach can allow you to eat. We'll normally have a bit of a treat meal on a Friday night with our daughter. Um, but get the dosage on the Saturday morning. Now, obviously, I'm I need to get my next pen, and I'm debating whether to stay on 7.5 or whether to move up to 10. Um, Now, with 7.5, I found that it does suppress everything. And I think I've made the mistake of doing the injection on an empty stomach. So I've tried the last couple of weeks to at least have something on my stomach. So it might be one of the yogurts that I've mentioned. Obviously, the yogurt pouches which you can get in Lidl in Aldi. They really do fill me up, and they're great for the protein that we need. So I have to make that decision whether or not to stay on 7.5 or go up to 10. Um, so what I'm really wanting from people in this video, if you do watch this again, obviously I'm really grateful and thankful to everybody that watched the video and is obviously subscribed and wanting to see my journey. What I'm wanting you to give me is how long have you stayed on your pens? Now, just to give you some context, I weigh plus of 25 stone. I'm a big lad, um, but does it make a difference, do you feel? Like how big you are? I know that sounds silly, but hopefully you're grasping what I'm trying to say. And like you see, I've noticed a steady difference from the doses, and I think that's obviously what you should do. And they do say obviously it's no guarantee to move up the doses that you lose more weight. Um, so I'm in that conundrum. So I am obviously about to order my new pen. Obviously, no matter what, I'll keep everybody posted because I'm going to try and do these videos on a Sunday. I just wanted to do a follow up today based on obviously the reaction to Sunday's video. But I've watching it back, I was like, I left out an important part of the journey, obviously, and what doses, sorry, doses I've been using. Um, another few questions I've noticed obviously about obviously the exercise. Now, obviously the exercise I mentioned, obviously I do work 2 jobs, so it's a bit of a struggle to get the exercise. I like to swim, so I did sign up to my gym again to obviously a swim and gym pass membership. We have got a walking board here in the house, which unfortunately I can't use. I'm too heavy for it. And I have tried to use it, but it just doesn't work properly because I'm slightly too heavy. But it's ideal for the missus. She uses it when she can. Um, I know that I need to do the exercise, need to get more exercise in, but since I've rejoined the gym, which has only been this month, I've really enjoyed going swimming again. And that to me, until I can start running, it takes away that pressure on my knees, which I wouldn't be silly enough to try and go out and run now, even though I know for a fact I'd be so unfit and out of breath. My knees just couldn't take it. So swimming's a really good exercise for me at this moment in time. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to follow up with Sunday's video with some more information about my Mounjaro journey so far. Um, Thank you very much, as I say, for the support, and I hope you guys are going to stay along for the ride. And I really hope anybody who is, you know, wanting to make that decision, leave some comments. I reply to everybody, and I want to hear your story and how you've started and how well you're doing. I just want to say well done to everybody that's put a comment on there and saying, I'm however many weeks or months into my journey, and you've all lost, and everybody seems to be, finding it really helpful as a tool to help you with your weight loss. But well done everybody, and again, thank you very much for watching. As I say, I'll try and keep this as a weekly update for everybody. And until the next one, I'll see you all soon. Thanks very much.